Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to build a tiny but super efficient slime farm for Minecraft Bedrock. Let's go. So to make this farm, first you'll need to figure out where a slime chunk is. A slime chunk is a 16 by 16 area where slimes can spawn underground. To find this, you can go to the link in the description on Chunkbase, type in your world seed, and look for a green square. These are the slime chunks. In the bottom right, it will show you the exact coordinates of the chunk where the slimes can spawn. In this example, I found a slime chunk here. This is where I'll be building the farm in this tutorial. The coordinates are 448 minus 3136 to 463 minus 3121. You don't have to use those exact coordinates. You can use any as long as they are green on the map on that website. While you can technically build this farm absolutely anywhere in the world, as long as it's a slime chunk, I would recommend building it underwater, because this will mean more slimes will spawn, because less other mobs will be spawning on the surface. So I've just marked out my slime chunk. You don't have to do this, but I like to do it so I kind of know where I'm going to be building the farm. So the first thing you need to do is go over to one corner of the farm. I'm just going to be using this corner, it doesn't really matter which. Then go 2 blocks away from it and begin to make a hole. This will be the ladder that will take you down to your slime farm. Make sure to dig down this hole all the way to y equals 10. You can tell this if you put your coordinates on, and make sure the middle number in the top left says 10. Like so. You can now build a ladder on the wall that's pointing away from the slime farm so that you can get up and down. It should be on this side. It's not really necessary, it just makes sure you've got plenty of room to make the slime farm. Now we will need to mark out where the corners of the slime chunk are. So first, look back on Chunkbase to see your coordinates. You should see at least one of your 2 coordinates in the top left lining up. Now I'll place a block here because this will always be the correct block. Now mine sideways until you get to another one of the corners shown on Chunkbase. If you notice that the coordinates are moving the wrong way in the top left, then it will be the other way. However, for my purposes, this is the correct direction. So it turned out there I mined a tiny bit too far. The corner it says on Chunkbase is 448 minus 3136. So I've placed wooden planks to show that is the corner. I'm now going to do the same, but the other way, until I get to the other coordinate shown on Chunkbase. This is the other corner of the slime farm. Now what you need to do is turn this L shape that you've cut out and the corners into a completely hollowed out 3 blocks tall area. So to do this you could use a beacon or you could just straight up mine it out. You just need to have this complete square, this entire chunk completely mined out. I'll see you again once I've done that. Okay, so I finished mining out this area. It's 3 blocks high and it encompasses the entire 16 by 16 area of the slime chunk. You can tell you've definitely mined out the correct area, because if you go to one of the corners, this will show up on Chunkbase as one of the corners of the slime chunk, and the same is true for the complete opposite side. Now what we need to do is make a hole for the slimes to fall through. To do this, we'll just count on 4 blocks across. 1, 2, 3, 4 from any of the corners. It doesn't really matter. I just like to do it on the opposite side to the door. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next block, break it and break out 4 blocks. Now we need to do the same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next block, break out 4 blocks. Then connect up the 2 and mine out all the blocks in between. This is where the slimes are going to fall down into the pit where we will collect their drops. So now we're going to make the space for the snow golem. This will mean that all the slimes that spawn down here will all be attracted towards where the snow golem is, and then they'll fall down the hole where we can collect their loot. To do this, we need to count 3 blocks from the edge of the hole. If you count 1, 2, 3, and then the next 2 blocks need to be broken. There should be 3 blocks on either side. Then make this into a 2 by 2 square, and mine an extra block back. This is where the snow golem is going to be going. Now place 2 fences here to stop the snow golem escaping, and then place 2 fences like so, so that the snow golem won't hit the slimes as often. Now to actually place in the snow golem, you need to place 1 block there, 1 block there of snow. You then can just destroy these 2 blocks, place in the snow golem, and then replace these 2 blocks. The snow golem is now all in place. There is something very important as well. If you're going to build this farm inside of a desert, a savanna, or such other warm biomes, then you need to be very careful because the snow golem will melt. So instead of putting in a snow golem, you could make the space behind here a bit bigger and put in an iron golem instead. If you do put in an iron golem, you won't have to have these 2 fences here because he isn't going to be shooting snowballs. Now we need to place in a lot of torches. We need to do this because slimes can still spawn when it's bright, but most other mobs can't. This will make sure we don't get any zombie spawns, skeleton spawns, creeper spawns, and all that, which would mean that it would stop being a slime farm. So to do this, you can just place a couple torches in the corners. Place some every roughly 3 blocks away from each other. The actual placement of the torches distance-wise isn't very important, but I would recommend putting more torches than less, otherwise you may get some mob spawns. This is the torch grid I have placed. I've made sure there's just 3 blocks in between each torch. This should light up the farm enough that you won't get any rogue mob spawns. Now to build the area where the slimes will be killed. To do this, mine exactly 4 blocks down on each of the corners, and then mine all the blocks in between. So now you need to find an area, a corner preferably, that doesn't have much bedrock. For this, I'm going to use this corner, which doesn't have any bedrock for 4 blocks. Now, I'm going to place in a double chest. This is going to be where all the items go to. And then I'm going to place 2 hoppers going into it. The more hoppers you place, the quicker all the items will go into the chest, but in my experience, 2 hoppers is enough that it will never become overflowed. Now we need to build the pickup system that's going to use a minecart hopper. First, you need to place some powered rails, preferably about 3 on each side. You can add more or less because, of course, your bedrock will be different, so where you can place a redstone block to power it will be different. So place a block of redstone underneath each of the rails, and then connect it up in a circuit, kind of like so. Sometimes the rails will snap weirdly, so it would be better to place the regular rails before placing your powered rails. So overall, your minecart rail system should look roughly like this. Now I've just popped my hopper minecart in and gave it a little shove. It seems to be moving around all okay. If yours isn't, try adding maybe a couple more powered rails. Make sure that it isn't moving too fast over the top of these hoppers so that it can drop off the maximum amount of items. Now I'm going to place some campfires 1 block above the rails. This would be to make sure that all of the slimes, if they don't die of fall damage, will die from the campfire. You can do this like so. Be careful, because in survival mode, campfires will hurt a lot if you stand on them, so I'd recommend placing it from above or placing it from the side. Well, the farm will work as it is, however I would recommend adding extra layers because these will increase the efficiency of the farm significantly. To just even add 1 more layer will mean an insane amount of drops, so I would recommend doing this. However, you don't have to. The first thing I'd recommend doing, if you want to do this, is to replace each of the corners of the roof with a block that's very obvious to you what it is. This will make sure that you can easily mark out the next floor. Then go up to Y14, which should have 2 blocks above your door. Mine out 3 blocks, and you can mine out the area for your next level. So you'll just need to mine over to where this block is, and then mine left or right depending on which corner of your farm you've built this in. Then you've got this block here, that's the other corner. And here's the other corner. Then you would just have to empty out the space in between. So now I've mined out a second floor, we just need to do exactly the same as what we did with the floor below. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Mine out this square. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do this. This will be the hole for the slimes to fall through, as with the other level. And then we can just place in our snow golem as before. Just get out my snow. The level should look like this. And then you can place your torches as before. The layers should be looking like the one below, like this. You can then add as many more layers as you want, like this. The more layers will mean the more efficiency. One last thing you'll need to do is get access to your chests. So extend the ladder down to Y5 and mine over to where you placed your chest. Where exactly is it? Here it is. Now you have access to your chest where you can pick up all the loot when the slimes drop it. Now you'll need to build the AFK chamber for this farm. So first find a nice central spot on the top floor, then mine so you are 30 blocks on the Y-axis above where you started. So I'm currently at Y14, that's the second number across, and I need to mine all the way up to Y44. So this will be my AFK spot. I can turn this into a little hole. This is so that I can AFK here safely so mobs won't come to me. If you're on 4 simulation distance, there is something very important. You are limited to only having 5 floors, because otherwise the very most bottom floor wouldn't be rendered by the game, which means the slimes wouldn't actually get killed. So therefore you can only build 4 to 5 layers of this farm. I'm now going to AFK here for 10 minutes to see what the rates are like. So it's been 10 minutes, I can hear there are lots of slimes currently going up there. Let's see how many slime balls are in the chest. That's 2 stacks and 49, almost 3 stacks in 10 minutes. This means you would probably get upwards of about 18 stacks an hour from this thing, which is a crazy quantity. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, please pop them in the comments. If you have any ideas for what I should make next, please also write them in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.